As you've probably seen before, this is the submit button, and we need to add that so that our users can click to submit the data that they've entered into our form. So let's go ahead and we will use the submit input type to create a standard submit button. In your eText, table J-6 has some other input values for buttons, such as a reset button or a generic button that you can create a script for, as well as an image value that you can create a submit button using an image that you so choose. So let's go ahead and look at the steps we're going to be performing in this section for enabling our form submission. And here are those steps. As always, you can follow along in your eText, or you can refer back to this part of the video to read the caption here for the steps. So let's go ahead and jump into our contact.html file in our text editor, and we will start putting our information for our submit button. Alright, now that we have our file open, we are going to go down to our submit button field set. I'm going to enter a line, and we're going to put the value attribute that specifies the text displayed on the button. So let's go ahead and put our input type equals submit, ID equals submit, and value equals submit with a capital S. And your code should look just like mine here. Let's go ahead and save our work now. And with your work saved, we're going to go ahead and jump back into our web page and refresh it. And we should see that the submit button is displayed at the bottom of the form. By default, form buttons are usually gray with black text and a subtle box shadow. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Alright, with our web page open, I'm going to go ahead and refresh. And you can see that our submit button has been created. Now we want to make sure that this doesn't stay over here to the left. So we're going to add some more code here that will put our submit button styled and centered. So let's go ahead and jump back into our steps now, but at least we see that we do have our button on our page. Next, we're going to put in a condition for those people that use Internet Explorer. We all know Internet Explorer has really declined in the last couple of years for its usage, and where Google Chrome has taken over, which is why Microsoft has decided to start phasing out Internet Explorer here with the release of Windows 10. So Internet Explorer lays out forms elements differently than other browsers, and this we're going to put in conditional comments creates an embedded style sheet for the web page, but only if the browser opening the files indicates that it's IE. So we're going to go ahead and add that code in up at the top now. And we're going to put that right below our if using IE7 one. Go ahead and enter the code now, just as it is in the eText. And once again, this conditional comment creates an embedded style sheet for this web page, but only if the browser opening the files identifies itself as Internet Explorer. Alright, go ahead and save your work now. And we're going to return to our llform.css cascading style sheet. Okay, with our cascading style sheet open, we are going to go to the bottom here, and we're going to add a line, and we're going to input the style rules that are shown in figure J16 of your eText. This is for a style for the submit button. So let's go ahead and add that code now. I'm going to clean mine up just a little bit here. I'm picky, I know. Alright, so now our code looks clean just like the rest of our code. Let's go ahead and save this work here. Now our submit button matches the style of the rest of our form. Now we're going to create a print version of the main style sheet with the name llprint.css and a print version of the form style sheet with the name llformpr.css. Then in the contact HTML, add a link referencing element referencing the llformpr.css and specifying a media value of print. Alright, as you can see, I made a print version of the main style sheet here, and we named it llprint. And then we also made a print version of the form style sheet and have it here. Now we're going to go into our contact.html and add a link element referencing both of these, or the llform PR cascading style sheet. Alright, with our contact.html file open here in our text editor, let's go ahead and add a line here. And we are going to go ahead and put our link here. So here's our link element that we should have, referencing our new file, llformpr.css. Let's go ahead and save our work once again. I want to go back into our main web page and refresh that just to see the style changes that were applied to our submit button. Alright, we'll go ahead and refresh our page now and see our submit button changes. As you can see, our changes were applied immediately as we expected, and it matches the style of the rest of our web page. Well, that's it for this portion of enabling form submission as well as conclusion of Unit J. Thank you, everyone. Now, as always, don't forget to put your code onto the web server, and I will be able to look at your code and make sure that you completed the work and also share in the fruits of your labor. Everyone have a